If you guys have been following my content for some time now, then you know that I generally talk about specifically investing in index funds and ETFs. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over some of my favorite individual stocks that I like to hold in a portfolio for the long term. Now, before I get started, I will state that most of these stocks do have a high price tag with them, but being able to purchase fractional shares of stocks and ETFs has removed the barrier for most people to be able to purchase some of the best performing stocks on the market. The very first stock that I like as a long-term hold is Micron, MU. MU specializes in computer memory and data storage chips. Now, this company recently surpassed a $1 trillion valuation earlier this year. I believe it was back in May of 2026. This is a sector that I think has a lot of room to grow, which is the memory sector. As storage and memory needs continue to increase, I think that MU is in a prime position to continue its run up. The second company that I really love is Amazon. So we all know about services like Amazon Prime, where you get 2-day shipping on your products. You can watch online shows and movies and stream music. And then you also get access to NFL Thursday Night Football. And I believe they may have some MLB, but I'm not 100% certain. But I think that the play for them would be to get into a little bit more TV type of streaming services down the line. The main reason that I really like them is because of their AWS division, which is Amazon Web Services. So AWS is their cloud-based offering. There have been so many companies that used to have to invest in traditional data centers, which would mean renting out data center space or actually owning their own data centers and then getting the hardware needed to power those data centers. And that's a huge capital expenditure for most companies. So what they've been doing over the past 10 plus years is they've been going to companies like Amazon, moving their physical data centers to a cloud option. And that way they no longer have the cost of owning and maintaining physical data centers. It's a huge cost savings for companies, and it's a huge moneymaker for companies like Amazon. Then you add on to the fact that they're starting to develop their own AI chips, which in the future may allow them to reduce their dependency on NVIDIA GPUs. The next company that I really like is Microsoft. So we all know that Microsoft is well embedded into institutions, educational, corporate America, homes. Microsoft products are the gold standard. When you think about putting a presentation together, you think about PowerPoint. When you think about drafting a document, you think about Microsoft Word. Those are the known entities. Then you add on the fact that those are now subscription-based models, meaning that they'll continue to have a steady stream of revenue for those products year after year for anyone that wants to use them. They also have a web service offering similar to Amazon with their Azure or Azure, however you want to pronounce that offering. And it's very similar, where they allow companies to turn down physical data centers and move those storage needs to the Microsoft cloud, which would be Azure. And they also invest heavily in the AI space with their Copilot AI offering. The next company that I really like, I don't own it, but I'm watching it very closely, is SpaceX. Here over the next few weeks, a lot of the early investors have a window to where they can sell the shares that they acquired prior to the IPO. So I'm going to be watching the price action on this. It's well under the IPO price now. I want to see what happens if it approaches $100. Does it dip below that or does it bounce? But I really like SpaceX because you get the SpaceX product, right? Space exploration, but you also get access to Starlink. And there have been some grumblings. I don't know if this is just internet talk or not, that SpaceX and Tesla could merge at some point. I don't know, right? I think if that happens, that would be a fantastic opportunity for anyone that's able to invest in SpaceX, especially if it goes under $100. I think that's an opportunity to 10 or 20x your money in the future. I'm not being hyperbolic about this. I think that SpaceX in the future will hold its position in the top 10 as time goes on. The next company that I really love is Eli Lilly. They have been one of my favorite companies for a while now. They are well positioned in the insulin / diabetic treatment space. And then of course, with all of the GLP-1s that are being introduced and some of the weight loss treatments that are being offered, they're well positioned to be a leader in that space as well. So they will definitely stay in my long-term hold list category. All right, so I have two honorable mentions for you guys. The first one is Netflix. So Netflix was not a company that I believed in coming out of COVID. I thought they were spending too much money on the shows and movies that they were producing. And once you produce a movie and somebody watches it once, the value is kind of gone. But they've done a lot with their subscription model, their password sharing model, and that has helped to increase a lot of the revenue that they're generating and bringing in to the company. The fact that they split not too long ago, as of right now, the shares are under $80. I think it's well positioned to be able to gain some traction in the immediate future. And then the second honorable mention company that I really, really like is Visa. Look, here in the US, we are over $1 trillion in credit card debt. I don't think that that's going to be slowing down at any time soon as we continue to charge for things that we don't need and the things that we can't afford. That's just how life is right now in the West. And companies like Visa, MasterCard, Amex, they're the ones reaping the benefits for our inability to control our spending habits. So guys, I often talk a lot about investing in index funds and ETFs because that is the invest and chill model. But there are some single stocks that I really, really like that I think are valuable adds to a long-term portfolio. Leave a comment down below and let me know. What do you think about the stocks that I mentioned? What are some ones that you would have added? There's so many great companies out there that you can invest in. And I'm sure that I skipped over some that I would have even added to my own list, but I'd be curious to see what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Let me know.